I think if anybody follows you on social media, particularly your Instagram account, you share the personality of your business and your brand in an incredible way. It invites people in. It really shares the process, the relationship with the client, the creation of the work, the type of team culture that you have. How did that sort of start to come about? Was that an intentional thing about we've got to find our people, we've got to find the clients we want to work with, or has again that happened a bit more organically?
That part came very intentionally. I would say it came from two places. The first was I was finding myself on Instagram as a consumer and being so appreciative of the firms that would inspire me. And so I just decided to put myself kind of in the other shoes and say, okay, what would I be inspired by? What am I not seeing? And so while I think impressive, completed architectural masterpieces are always something to be appreciated and applauded, I was finding myself as a young practitioner very eager to see a little bit more behind the curtain, to see like what was the process like, and what were the highs and the lows, and what did the deliverable look like before it was presented, and what did team culture look like. So all those things I was personally curious in. The other thing, it just came from an awareness of wanting to go as deep as possible into the, I would say, demographic, geographic, and psychographic qualities of my clients and my staff. And if I can understand those two entities better than anyone else, I think that gives me an advantage. And so that means that when we produce social media content, it has to be, for ourselves, we want it to be captivating at first glance. So it has to be graphically beautiful, but it also then, maybe even more importantly, has to reward someone from lingering and staring at it longer. And it has to start to have a longer, deeper story to it. And so I think that my staff are very curious people. We work very hard to surround ourselves with folks who are aligned with our core values. And maybe this is a shameless plug, we are hiring now. And so it takes a long time for us to onboard someone, but we are looking for great people. And then as it relates to attracting clients, I would say Instagram isn't our number one referral source. That is still relationships. But it does give someone a very easy and predictable way to look us up and at least see that we do what we do with passion, and at least see that there are real people behind these projects. And so it's fun. It's something that I personally enjoy. Everything's done right here on the iPhone, and it's a job that I enjoy. I enjoy the diversity of being able to tell that story.
Yeah, well, I'll pop a link in the show notes because I really encourage anyone, both industry and non-industry, to have a look at what Laney LA are doing in how they share the personality of their business on social media, because it's highly, it's not polished enough that it's intimidating or doesn't feel like you're actually getting an insight into how you guys work. It doesn't feel like it's rehearsed, and so there's this great big barrier between what you're actually doing and what you're showing to the world. You feel like you're part of the experience. I actually find I'm looking for the same projects. I'm looking for the projects to see how they develop across the timeline, and I'm looking to see when I've seen something in a model turn up and you start sharing the construction drawings of it, and then the construction photos of it. So, and moving through to completion. So it is it's a beautiful way for a practice to build a relationship with its audience and its community and its potential clients. And I think too, in terms of what you're doing in positioning yourself in the industry and changing the industry, is to be highly commended, because it's giving people access to knowledge and information and high level expertise that has always been hidden and only presented in the finished buildings. And I think that it's something that you should be really highly commended for, because it's just brilliant the way that you're doing it. So
thank you.
I just love it. Yeah. Hi, now before you go, I just wanted to share with you, there are 3 big mistakes that I see homeowners make when they're planning their renovation or building project. Mistakes that cause huge amounts of stress, cost overruns, time blowouts, and really ultimately make the journey of renovating and building much more difficult. Want to know what they are? Well, the first of those three mistakes is that people just dive into the process. They don't really prepare for it. They don't really understand what are the right steps to take and when, and they just barrel in. And I think homeowners do this because it's a big, overwhelming process building or renovating your home. It involves a lot of big decisions, a lot of money. But unfortunately, if you're only ever taking steps ahead, not really knowing the full picture, it's very easy to get lost, misled, end up in a completely the wrong spot, and for it to be very expensive and time consuming to get yourself out of that position. The second mistake that I see homeowners make is they make themselves a target. A lot of homeowners tell me actually they feel like they're walking around with a target on their forehead just waiting to be taken advantage of. But unfortunately, a lot of homeowners don't do the work required to really inform themselves so that they know how to sift and filter the advice that they're receiving, so that they know how to not fall for the dodgy operators, and so that they know when they're being told something that they want to hear rather than what they need to hear. When you know how to put the right team of people around you and you know how to trust the advice that you're receiving, it will completely change the game for your renovation or building journey. The third mistake that I see homeowners make is that they don't invest in the design. The design, of course, is the lines, the spaces, the volumes that are drawn as lines on a page, but end up becoming the rooms and the home that you ultimately live in. And so many homeowners really struggle because they know that this is something going to be long term, that their decisions are going to have a big impact on how they get to live their lives, and yet really fear stuffing it up, making decisions that they think that they'll regret long term. When you know how to get the design right, how to create a home that not only works for you now but into the future, then you can move with certainty towards that future finished home, knowing that it'll actually deliver the dream that you're hoping it will and create a beautiful lifestyle for you and your family. I would love you to check out my 2 online courses. I have one for Australian homeowners called How to Get It Right in Your Reno or New Home, and I have one for American homeowners called the Welcome Home course. If you don't know the steps from start to finish of your renovation or building journey, from the point of talking with your local authority through putting your team together, getting the design right, getting all of your approvals, choosing your contractor or builder and getting your home built, that's exactly what these courses will help you do. I lay out step by step my own system that I've been using in over 250 projects in over almost 25 years in this industry, and I explain it to you in a step-by-step way that you can put into action on your project. I also help you really focus on what are the core fundamentals of a well-designed home. What does it look like to achieve good design? I have got minimum recommendations for dimensions. I've got some key things to help really pull out of you what it's going to be that you want from your home, so that you can really communicate that with the people that you're working with and get really clear on what's going to make a big difference for you and your family's lifestyle in your home. And I also have lots of tools and guides so that you can pull the right team together. You can sift and filter the advice that you're receiving. You can know that you're moving in the right direction. You can always be working to save money and time and stress, and you can really get bang for buck in how you spend your budget overall, so that you can make sure that you stretch that money that you have as far as it possibly can go. And ultimately, these courses are all about helping you create that future family home that you're dreaming of, that is perfect for you and your family, and that ultimately helps you feel great and that you feel great in. So again, for Australian homeowners, it's How to Get It Right in Your Reno or New Home. And for American homeowners, I teamed up with Eric Reinholdt of 30x40 Design Workshop. He's an award-winning American architect based in Maine, and we created the Welcome Home course. The links are below for you to check out both of these courses. I would love to see you on the inside and really help you create that future family home that you're dreaming of and get it right whilst you save time, money, and stress.